Hello again. This is Don Barnett from I Go Travel with Don Barnett. We're going to visit a theme park down on the Mayan Riviera, and we're looking. They have a lot of their animals and the birds that are in that part of the country. So let's take a look at that theme park down there. We went to a theme park called Xcaret. The park is just on the mainland near Cozumel. And it is big enough that if you take your time and look at everything, it'll take you the whole day to walk around it and see things. You can play in the water at small resort areas within the park. You can also float down an underground river. In this part of the world, the land is basically limestone. There is very little soil to absorb water. Hence, there is no rivers or lakes on the surface of the land. All water drains quickly underground, making hidden caves, caverns, and underground rivers. There are many sinkholes or cenotes, like this one, which is just outside the park. Some are hidden underground, and some are open to the surface. In ancient times, many who were sacrificed to the gods, they and their possessions were thrown into these cenotes. The cenotes, therefore, have been beneficial and rich resources for anthropologists and treasure hunters. But today, they are enjoyed by us as outdoor swimming pools. My, how times change. Xcaret has numerous wildlife species, characteristic of this part of the world. These giant sea turtles are endangered due to overfishing, pollution, and destruction of their nesting areas. Tourists watch them climb onto the beach, lay their eggs, and return to the sea, covering their tracks by throwing clouds of sand over them. They return to the same beach to make nests and lay eggs each year. Only 1 in 1,000 reach adulthood. A popular activity for tourists at certain times of the year is to help the baby turtles clamber to the sea in safety. Crocodiles, like this big brute, are cold-blooded mammals with a low metabolism, enabling them to go without food for months. They eat only meat, but that includes humans. But fear not, they will not chew you up. They just swallow their prey whole. I loved the sign at the bottom in English. Those who throw objects at the crocodiles will be asked to retrieve them. Now, if you are foolish enough to jump in, here's a secret for you. Take along an elastic band and wrap it around the croc's nose. Why would you try this? Well, because crocs have tremendous crushing power, but it takes very little resistance to prevent them from opening their jaws. If they can't open their mouth, they can't crush down. They lose teeth, but regrow as many as 8,000 more over a lifetime. They can swim up to about 30 kilometers per hour and can remain underwater for up to about an hour. Dolphins are playful and interact very well with people. They are meat eaters and live in pods up to as many as a dozen per pod. They breathe through a blowhole on the top of their heads and communicate with one another with clicking and whistling sounds. These iguanas are plant-eating lizards, but they will bite you if you step on them or try to pick them up, as some fools have tried to do. You see them often running around on the sidewalks and streets in town. They have sharp vision and are capable of fast, short bursts of speed. They breed in the dry season, so the young are born in the wet season when there is a greater food supply. A female can store sperm for several years from previous mates in case she can't find an available mate during the current breeding season. This raccoon type animal is a coatis or a coatimundis. It eats both plants and fruit, as well as small rodents, ants, and both bird and reptile eggs. It is a climber and a digger. By rotating its ankles 180 degrees, it can run full speed down tree trunks, and by rotating its nose 60 degrees, it can quickly root out insects and bugs. The tapir looks like a big hog, but it's called the cow of the jungle. It's a hoofed animal related to horses and rhinos. It's a vegetable eater who roots with its snout and seeks cool places like this one seems to be doing. These armadillos have a leathery armor shell for protection. They have keen smell but poor eyesight. They're prolific diggers and eat insects like ants and termites. They are land animals, but they can walk underwater for 5 or 6 minutes and can swim considerable distances. How do they do it? By swallowing air to inflate their stomachs and intestines. The inflated air works like a life jacket. Also, since they are susceptible to getting leprosy, they have been used extensively in leprosy research. Let's look at some birds they have at Xcaret. Flamingos are widespread across the world. Years ago, I saw flocks, or as they call them, colonies of 1,000 or more when I was in Africa. They are social birds who usually live along shallow water coastlines of lakes. They can have a pattern of dancing by flapping their wings and squawking. Their diet is shrimp, snails, insects, as well as algae. Lifespan is on average 20 to 30 years. Parrots eat both meat and vegetation, which includes fruit, flowers, nuts, seeds, and insects. They usually mate for life. African gray parrots are, of course, gray, but these birds of South America are the colors that we're seeing here. The parents take turns sitting on their nesting eggs. And, of course, they're famous for mimicking or copying sounds, including words of humans. There's a wide array of birds down here, so let's take a look at some of them. Some you will recognize, and some you will not. The park feeds butterflies various fruits, making it easier to photograph them. Monarch butterflies migrate annually up to 5,000 kilometers between Canada and Mexico, flying at times nearly 20 kilometers high. It takes 30 days from egg to adult, and monarchs have only about a 9-month lifespan. Upon returning to Mexico each fall, their huge numbers can carpet the forest floor and even bend down tree branches. The monarch butterflies that fly back and forth between Canada and Mexico, like all wildlife, are having a tough time of it these days. But we've got a chance, we had a chance to see them a little bit, and we're going to other places, and I've done other travelogues on the Mayan Riviera here as well. So hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified when other travelogues are posted.